Welcome to another edition of Mission Movie Reviews, Real Talk. I'm Barry Gaines.
It's your homie Jay Green.
And today we're going to do something different. I don't know if it's something different, but we like doing these things. Today we're going to do our 10 top sci-fi movies. Oh, man. Listen, it's going to be tough, just 10, but that's what makes it fun. So I'm going to pick my 5. Justin's going to pick his 5. We're going to explain why, and then we would like to know about your 5, you know? But before we move forward, I know I mentioned something a couple videos ago about a big announcement. And the big announcement is this, is that Mr. Justin Green has become part of my GainesCon Film Festival as Director of Marketing. Did you know you were Director of Marketing?
I had no idea. This is the first time I'm hearing this. This is amazing.
That's right. I should throw you in there, bro. Get to work. Yeah, so I just want to congratulate Justin. Justin's been such a cool friend and a good gentleman that I met a while ago, and we just built a bond, as you see on this channel. And I said, you know what? It'd be nothing better than him to join GainesCon Film Festival. He said yes. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he was going to say, yo, get out here, yo. I don't want to join that. But he was like, nah. He said, yeah, let's go for it. Let's try to scale this. Just try to make this a great film festival, a great place where the action and sci-fi fantasy and creators can get together and showcase their work and bond and world build together. So I'm just happy that he's on board. And please, everyone, welcome him to GainesCon as well. So now Justin got GainesCon under his belt. He got we have Mission Movie Reviews under his belt, and he got his own channel. So check that out, Green Screen. That's GREENE Screen. Check out his reviews on movies that we just don't have a chance to review on this channel. So check that out. So yeah, Justin's a busy man. Plus he has a family. Got a lot of things going on. So so congrats. Everything's going on. So you ask Justin, yo, what's happening? He will say everything. So now let's get to the main event today, and that is the 10 top sci-fi movies, 5 each from us. It's going to be tough, man. 5, but we're going to see what's up. So you know what? Let's let Justin, the new director of marketing for GainesCon, say his first. What you say, brother?
All right, so my first one off the top is going to be Back to the Future. Right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I gotta
this
cross
one,
that off now.
we got yep. That's why I'm happy I'm going first. So
exactly.
This one you got time travel, plutonium, you got lightning bolts,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Clock towers, you got bullies, you got the cool guy, you got rock music, you know what I'm saying? Save the clock tower. So many things going on. If you have never seen Back to the Future, what have you been doing with yourself? Classic stories behind the scene. They had pretty much like 75% of this movie filmed with Eric Schultz. They looked at the footage, were like, it's just not working. We got to flip it up. Now we got Michael J. Fox, and the rest is history. This movie is
beautiful.
Perfect, if not damn near perfect, and infinitely rewatchable. You know what I'm saying? So Back to the Future, got to be my number 1.
Yeah, that's a hellified pick, man. And I had my choices too, and I'm like, man, I know we're going to cross with some of them, and that's one of them already.
Sure.
But yeah, but definitely. Oh, no doubt. I love it. Back to the Future Zone is one of those I just watch. No doubt. All right, so mine is going to be Aliens 2, James Cameron. When the Marines come in, and you get a whole lot more aliens. Sigourney Weaver getting an Oscar nomination for that movie. Do you know, not since that time has a woman in the sci-fi, in any action movie, really been nominated for an Oscar. And she's the last one. It's a shame. It really is. But you know what? It was. And that movie was just, to me, perfect. You know, Sigourney Weaver coming back as Ripley. You had the Marines coming in. You had just everything just hyped up to like 10. You know, and I remember hearing James Cameron saying, you know what, I like to do the second one, but if I do that, let's get more than one aliens. One is enough. You saw the first one, having a bunch of them, forget about it. And then, of course, having those great lines, that Sigourney made famous, get away from her, you bitch, and all these things, so, and just seeing like at the time, this was in the 80s, man. And when you look at it now, the cinematography stands up. The action, of course, stands up. I mean, most of the effects stand up. The storyline still gets you pumped. Like after you finish watching it, you just want to go out and start killing aliens. So that's definitely a classic. So Aliens with an S at the end, definitely. You got it. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to take Justin's line. What you been doing with yourself?
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. All right, so my number two is going to be Interstellar, right? I'm a huge Chris Nolan fan, all the way from The Following, his first movie. I pretty much have all of his films, and they're all different. But with Interstellar was a movie for me. When we're talking about doing everything in camera, we know he's famous for that. When we're talking about the set pieces, the concepts, where are we going with these things? This movie kind of gives you all of that. Also, there's only been like a handful of movies that try to take science fiction or space like very serious. You know, it's nice to see laser guns and aliens and all types of stuff like that, but this was a more earthbound concept, if you will, something that we had dealt with, the Dust Bowl back in the day. We can't be on our planet, maybe we need to interstellar travel and go somewhere different. And I thought what he did in that movie was very ambitious, super stylized but grounded at the same time. The camera work was amazing. Acting was phenomenal. You could make your debates about that little bookshelf situation in the end of the movie, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. That movie is so amazing. And Hans Zimmer's score in that movie, get the F out of here. Phenomenal. I listen to that when I'm at the gym. That movie's great. Love it.
Hell yeah. That's a banger right there. I'm gonna go to a classic. I'm gonna go to a classic here, because you can't leave this out, or you shouldn't be human. So I have to say it. It's going to be T2.
Oh, come on.
You got to put T2 in there. Hell yeah. Schwarzenegger coming back as the good guy. And you think about it, coming back as the good guy. I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, oh man, they're lighting it up now. They have a kid in there. I remember when I first heard about it back in like 90, right? And I was like, oh man, they're going to put a kid in there now. They're going to make him good. Oh man, this is going to be whack. I don't know. I was very, very wrong. And then you had very wrong. It came in, and I think James Cameron did an excellent job. Of course, you got those great scenes of like the motorcycle busting through the window. You got great scenes of like those when the two of them see each other for the first time. The kid's in the middle, and then you see the good and the bad one, but you don't know who's good or bad. And then you find out what it is. That was a great setup. The movie itself is just phenomenal. It's a classic. When it's on, people watch it. Sarah Connor. That movie, when you really watch that movie, right? If you look at Sarah Connor from the first one to that one, the transition that Linda Hamilton did herself from the first to the second, and just the character alone, just the character set up and built, and like just the world itself changed. I mean, you think about how Sarah Connor's world was, even how the world looked at the time, and as opposed to it was in T2. So of course it's in the 90s, other ones in the 80s. So of course it's a change, but it's a really big change. And then of course in the background you have Guns N' Roses slashing in the back on the main song. I mean, everybody was on their A game. Guns N' Roses was like king of the world at the time. So yeah, so T2. Definitely, that's a banger right there.
Yeah, classic, love it. All right, so that was your number 3, right?
That was number 2 for me.
That
was 2 for me. So it's just 3 for you now.
My number 3. So my number 3 is gonna be The Thing. You got that poster right in the back right there. Yeah. I remember my uncle showing me The Thing back in the day, like when I was in elementary school. Okay?
All right.
So we're talking about like John Carpenter, the 80s. I don't know if the 80s was the height of it, maybe like 80s to early 90s, but we're talking about like some of the best creature work that you've ever seen. And this creature work still stands up today. It's grimy, it's slimy. They move like very well for, the animatronics and everything. The idea of, being locked into one location, suspecting the person next to you ain't really the person that you thought they were. All those types of things, really wondering and suspecting up until the very final scene. Who's who? This movie keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's got some great jump scares before jump scares were what they are today. Like legitimate scares where you're like, I'm not expecting anything. Holy fuck, what was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to tell you, if you've never seen The Thing, I'm not going to tell you the scene, but just know that I'm just not going to tell you anything. Just watch this damn movie. There's 2 scenes when you're like, oh my God, right? And there's a lot of cool stuff today, but honestly, these 2 scenes that I'm thinking of, I can't really think of many times when something has been replicated to this degree. So The Thing is a phenomenal film. Love it.
I agree, man. The Thing is very special to me too, man, in my heart, because I remember for me personally, I went to see with my aunt, The Thing and Conan Barbarian double feature that day. And to me, that was like the best time I ever been to the movies. Like for even to today, it was just that moment. I was young. It was 84, 85 or something like that when it came out.
Oh, the Thing was like 82. Yep.
It's something like that, right? Yeah, yeah. So I remember going there and seeing a double feature, and both movies were just classics. Both movies were bangers. I was like, Conan the Barbarian. I was like, oh, and then you got The Thing coming in. I was like, whoa, and like you said, like what the fuck? And when real quick on The Thing, what I love about it, what you're saying too is you felt like those guys, like you didn't know who was who. Yeah. It was really good direction. It didn't kind of lean you to like, look at this guy for the audience, but the characters don't know. No, you didn't know either. Like everything was like just the same way those people felt, you felt too. So yeah, definitely Thing is a banger. So good choice, bro. All right. So next, ooh, man. I know I'm going for like low hanging fruits and stuff, but some things just gotta have to be said. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to say this one. All right. Right. Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. Right. Empire Strikes Back. That's what you have to say to people. They know all about it. Darth, revealing that he's the father of Luke. Luke finding about his pops. Yoda being introduced to the world. And really seeing that the lightsaber scene kick up a notch. Effects were better. Storyline was great. Leaves you in a cliff. At the end. You didn't know what's going to happen. And when you think about it, this is very rare, even in cinema now, that the bad guys win at the end. And Empire, Rebellion, they got the ass whooped, and Empire Strikes Back. People losing hands and whatnot. I mean, it was just a mess, and they won that one. But so anyway, Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I don't even have to say much about it. You guys know what that's about. It's a banger. I can watch it anytime. Perfect film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that one. Probably the best in the original trilogy for me. I would definitely say.
Yes, I agree. I'm there.
All right. So my number four is going to be part 1 to your part 2, which is The Terminator. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that movie's like so much fun. Again, very rewatchable film. Kind of put Arnold on the map, like legitimately put him on the map. You got Michael Biehn in that film. You got the great Linda Hamilton, in that film. And then the idea and the concept, again, from the future, they're going to send this machine back. They can't be stopped. They don't care. They don't got no pity or no remorse or whatever. In a lot of movies where someone is after someone, even if it's an assassin film, there's always a glimmer of humanity, even if they live by a certain code. Even if you meet the most ruthless villain, there's something that is like, I don't want to say easy, but a way for you to take them out, a way for you to talk them down long enough for them to miss the mark. In that movie, no chance. This motherfucker's coming for you. The only way he's going to miss the mark is if you blast him somehow or run him over or some shit like this, or literally are just fast enough to get away. That is it. So everything in that movie was freaking great. I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, when the practical effects still hold up, storyline obviously still hold up, and that was a scary film. I mean, when you look at it, it's really a sci-fi horror. It's not just sci-fi. It's really like a horror movie. He's just after you and he's doing these things. He's killing these people, and this poor girl, can't get away and whatnot, and the guy, it's just a lot going on there. But you know what? Definitely. When it comes down to it, Terminator 1, banger, straight up. All right. Next up, I believe that's me.
Yep.
It's, man, we have to do another one of these because there's so many. All right. So, this one I really, really liked. I'm a big fan of Ridley Scott. And I would say Prometheus is one of those films that I really love. It's just something about that film. The film was well done anyway. Storyline is great. The actors are great. Starring Charlize Theron and Michael Fassbender, as the robot, and Naomi Rapace. She was really good. Naomi Rapace. but the whole concept of them going to the planet. Oh yeah, Idris Elba in there as the pilot and whatnot. You know what I mean? He smashed Charlize Theron in the film. That was nice. You know, little things like that.
If you can't be with the one you love, then love the one you with.
Justin said that one. That's right. Hell yeah, and I agree.
That was his quote in the movie when he's like, you need something? You need something? I got you.
She said, yeah, meet me up. He said, yeah, I'm gonna smash this. So that was a nice little point in the movie. But the movie was really, really good. Sean Harris was in there. He's a really good actor. So you had some really, really good people in there. And I think the idea of them going on the planet, and then finding the aliens for the first time, but the concept of the aliens saying, the architects, saying that we actually built this planet from our DNA. And it starts off with the sacrifice of one of these aliens sacrificing themselves so that DNA can go into the water and then start to move and then start to really kind of, give the nutrients it needs, give the planet the nutrients it needs, I guess. Mm-hmm. But, so that was really a cool concept there. And when you look at the movie, the cinematography is just outstanding. I mean, if you just look at it, you're like, damn, you just want to keep looking at it. So Ridley Scott, definitely when it comes down to, I say Prometheus. If you haven't seen Prometheus, guys, go see Prometheus. You're going to really, really like it. Trust me. It's a really cool movie to watch. Really good concept and some good action. So classic cinema. Yeah.
Love that one. All right. So my number 5, if I'm counting correctly.
Yeah.
My number five is going to be, where am I at? All right. My number 5 is going to be Edge of Tomorrow, right? Edge of Tomorrow, another poster you got right behind you. This movie, this movie kind of came out like somewhat closer to when I started doing like movie reviews. So when I saw the first trailer, I know a lot of people were like, I'm not feeling this movie at all, but I love Tom Cruise. And they weren't feeling that trailer song. But this movie just reminded me of Halo. Not that I was like a huge Halo fan, but I was like, okay, mech suits, Tom Cruise, action, aliens, like, let's fucking go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I loved in this movie Tom Cruise kind of playing against type. Usually he's the hero. This one, he was a little bit more of a wimp, kind of a coward, if you will. He didn't really want to do the job that he maybe signed up to do, or he's going to let other people do it, and he didn't want to like stand up to the test when the test was actually presented to him. You got the great Bill Paxton in there. You have a nice band of, misfits, if you will, surrounding him in his little platoon once he's finally like, locked into the situation that he's in. Who is is it Brandon Gleeson? I think was like the main general person that sent him.
Probably so. I have to look him up.
Yeah, I think it was Brandon Gleeson who sent him there. So you got great acting from like everybody throughout the film. Emily Blunt, right? Oh. Playing the Full Metal bitch or whatever they call her in that movie. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't think we've seen Emily Blunt in action before this. So she sold the hell out of that shit. And if you're into women in power and you want a strong female protagonist, she outranks Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying? And they play very well off of each other, right? And so I love that movie. The action is phenomenal. The concepts are great. The alien design is super swag. You know what I mean? So that movie is very fun. It's got comedy in it. It's definitely got its like, thrilling or horrific type elements and opportunities. Yeah, that movie is great. Directed by Doug Liman, 2014. If you haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow, for whatever random reasons, check it out. I think you will enjoy quite a bit.
I think you're right, man. I love Edge of Tomorrow. In fact, I was one of those guys that was just going online pitching and say, listen, they need to do a number 2. Everybody was looking for another one. You know what I mean? I mean, left it wide open. I was like, I got to have number 2. So I hope one day they come back with that before he gets too old. I mean, he's older now, but it would be nice if someone do it again or they have him come back to do it. All right, so my last one, oh, man. All right, I think, you know what? And they got some old ones here because, got some old ones that just classics, man. It's hard not to. You don't have too many classics coming out now. Very rarely. They come out to the same people, Christopher Nolan, stuff like that. So, let's see. All right, drum roll. Oh. All right, for me, it's going to be... all right, I'm going to say Abyss for me. I love Abyss. It's one of those films that didn't really make much money when it came out back in 83 or 84 or whatever it was. And it was James Cameron's, I think, like 3rd film or 4th film. And no one really knew about it. It was kind of odd. It was underwater. and you had aliens underwater, but at the same time you had this sub story of the oil riggers with the Marines coming in and trying to steal a nuclear weapon from a crashed submarine. And so you had this sub story, and I think sometimes people felt that leaned more into that, and then the aliens just kind of was there, and people felt upset about it. I don't know, but if you ever see the movie, you'll see that is an actual classic, is a genius. Though the behind the scenes was a mess, even to this very day. Do you know what Ed Harris always says in this quote? Even to this very day, all these years later, he says, "Do not ask me about Abyss." That's how bad the experience was for him and some other people. But out of all of that, James Cameron was like, yes, shit happens, but you know what? We made a classic freaking film. You watch it now, it looks beautiful. I mean, the cinematography was great. Practical effects, except for, this was like the beginning of the CGI, really. But everything else with like the helmets and just I guess the what do you call those? The underwater buggies. I want to call them that. Underwater buggies, those things all were real. Everything was real. So when people were like next to them or hit them or whatever, that was real iron. That was real metal. So you had to be really careful. So it was a very dangerous set in its own way. But all in all, when you watch it, you see it. See, that's the difference between CGI and practical. And as you know, if you listen to our videos here, Justin and I are big fans of practical effects. There's nothing like having something real. You can see it with your eyes. You can feel it. And Abyss has that. Real water, real metal, everything except for the one little CGI part. Otherwise, I say Abyss is going to be my number 5. And I wish I had more because there was something else I wanted to say too. We may have to have some honorable mentions. We got to have one honorable mention. But anyway, Abyss for me.
That's what's up.
It's number 5. All right. So,
you want an honorable mention or what?
Yeah, let's do an honorable mention, man. Fuck, it's just so mad. It's just hard. It's hard. Okay. Let's do it one each. What you got?
All right.
I got one.
Okay, so damn, this is kind of tough actually because I had like 3 more on my list. There's so many more. There's all different flavors, right? Right. But I think I'm gonna throw in. Gravity. Alfonso Cuarón directed this movie. Sandra Bullock, George Clooney.
Okay, yeah.
Very simple story, right? They're up there in space. They're trying to fix some portion of a space station or something like that. I think like some asteroids hit them or something like this, or it's like trash just kind of like orbiting Earth, whatever.
Yeah, it's trash, yeah.
Now, someone gets detached from the situation. Sandra Bullock's got to try to save herself. Is she going to, lose George Clooney? All that type of stuff. And, eventually does she get back to Earth? Gravity, right? This movie is gorgeous. It's kind of following the same steps like Chris Nolan follows, where let's get as much in camera as possible. The cinematography is on point. The acting is phenomenal between both our leads. And just the stakes and the way that those stakes are kind of filmed and presented was great, and it was gripping. And so from the beginning to the end, you're kind of on the edge of your seat rooting for both or one, or let's see what happens. And so that movie is definitely a very good film.
No, that's a hell of a mention. Yes, true. That's true. It's funny. I think I never watched the whole thing. I gotta watch it now. Yeah, I don't know what's the whole thing. Gravity? Yeah, I have to check that out again. All right, so my honorable mention is going to be one that was made in 2018. I don't know. Some people, people have mixed feelings on it, but to me, I loved it. I really did. Just the complexity of everything that was happening in it, really, really drew me in. And then all the messaging that was in it as well. Right, 2018, and it was a different movie, and it was a Spielberg film, and it was called. Oh man, that's another Spielberg film that I like too. Sure, I should have said that one, but. Excuse me. So I would say I really enjoyed Ready Player One.
Oh,
I thought the movie was fucking phenomenal. It was just, it was amazing. Just the graphics and everything was like, whoa, the storyline was a banger, and then all the messaging it had in it, and it was just a beautiful film. It was just so good. So when it's on, I watch it. When it's on, and I own it, and I know Justin owns it probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Ready Player One.
That's one of those movies where I do think it is like mixed. And it's all subjective. So if it didn't work for you, it didn't work for you. That's fine. But when I think of like little Jay Green, when I think of my younger self when I was playing with toys, not all your toys match. You got Ninja Turtles, you got G.I. Joes, you got Batman.
That's true.
Whatever, and they all gonna mix and match. They're gonna play together. We've seen Toy Story. We see how they do it, right? That movie was basically Steven Spielberg magic based off of a best-selling book with all your toys in your toy box playing together. I'm not really sure what more you wanted from the movie. Right? You just like legitimately like it had a good story, had a good message, right?
Yep.
It
did. And you saw characters that you really have never seen on the big screen, like Gundam, for example. When I saw that at the end, I was like, oh shit, it's Gundam, you know? And it was like all these from anime to, of course, our cartoons. And yeah, it's just a hodgepodge of them. And they all coming together to fight. Even for the car race scenes in that movie alone.
Oh man! Come on! The end battle scene and the car race scenes were worth the price of admission alone.
Yes.
On top of that, you get some good stories, some great visuals. Like, yeah, it was dope.
Thank you.
That was dope.
Thank you, bro. Exactly, because that car scene was freaking amazing with King Kong coming on the side and all that.
Come on, man.
Oh my god, bro!
So I remember the last time I went to Universal Studios. Right when I was a kid and I went to Universal Studios, they had the actual King Kong animatronic type situation. And there was fire and everything. I think that thing burned down or whatever like that. But when I went back, you go through this on the tram tour, you go through a tunnel and it's all like, just visual stuff. And the tram is like moving around and you're like, all right, it's cool. I get it. But imagine a virtual reality type ride where like the seats move and stuff. And you're like in that race, like in the DeLorean. That would be so much fun. Like,
that's so much fun, bro.
I don't think that movie was Universal though. But bottom line is, Steven Spielberg puts you in that action. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, and being in the DeLorean, you know what I mean? Being in the DeLorean in a race. I mean, what do you want with King Kong? I mean, everything was amazing. So I don't know.
I feel like there's two of the most iconic cars in the world: the Batmobile and the fucking DeLorean.
DeLorean. That's true.
Those two. Everybody knows those cars.
On a car that just died, the company just went under. They didn't have to worry about paying anyone when they did Back to the Future, by the way, as a note, when they did DeLorean, because the guy was already being convicted for, I think, money laundering or whatever. It was something. So the company went under. So when they were doing Back to the Future, they didn't pay nobody anything. There's no company.
That's a come up right there.
That's a come up. Exactly. You'll get that car. And it was really cool. So so people out there, what are your favorite sci-fi movies? If you made it this far, thank you again.